Let's have a little chat, shall we? I've been doing a lot of thinking, and I've come to a major realization about something. Something that was shown to me after I did a very powerful consultation for a very powerful person. Let me just say that they know who I'm talking about. Very powerful person who can shift and change realities. And that's what I wanted to come through and talk about. Realities. You know, let's start with homosexuality, pansexuality, and other sexual orientations that may fall in line with that. When we think about homosexuality in terms of what causes it, what is it, why does this happen, why does that happen, we always think of it in terms of biology and chemistry. But we never think of it in terms of what could be happening in other realities that can influence you in this reality. Feel where I'm going with this. Let's say in one reality, you could be a female who is struggling with her sexual orientation, struggling with expressing herself. Or let's just say, put sexual orientation to the side. Let's just say that you're struggling with self expression on some level. You feel me? Then let's say in another reality, you're a gay man and you express yourself the way that you want to. Then let's say in another reality, you could be a bisexual female. Okay? And in that reality, you could be having issues with expressing yourself sexually. There could be suppression there due to your own thinking or whatever the case may be. Now let's come back to this reality, to the identity that you are. And let's say that you look at yourself as someone or you identify with someone as pansexual, where you do not suppress who you are, where you do not say, I only like this type of person or that type of person. You are openly free to love whatever adult you want to love. Whether you are a man in this reality, whether you are a female in this reality, you don't allow yourself to be influenced by a one-faceted mind, if that makes sense. How does that all combine? Well, this is how it combines. If you understand the function of the subconscious mind picks up on everything in totality. Now, those were just three examples of parallel realities or other realities that you could exist in, but there are multiple realities that we could possibly exist in and have no knowledge of it on a conscious level. But here's the thing. Your subconscious mind picks up on those frequencies. It picks up on those emotions. And those emotions can cause a reverberation across all realities that you may exist in. You see where I'm going with this? So the woman who suppresses herself in one reality is a gay man who doesn't suppress himself in another reality. And that gay man is that woman over there who has problems with expressing her freedom or self-expression that has nothing to do with sexual orientation. Then when you bring it back to this reality, it comes out as pansexuality, where you are open to all forms of sexual gratification, all forms of love, no matter what gender it may come from. no matter what the person's sexual orientation may be. That is the definition of pansexuality, being open to all genders, all sexual orientations. And see, that is not just influenced on a biological or chemical level. We're so busy looking at the biology and the chemistry, but we're not looking at the realities that are beyond this one that influence us. Because like I said, once you understand the subconscious mind, your subconscious mind, my subconscious mind, is having an infinite existence in multiple realities. And those realities can affect you in multiple ways, including sexual orientation. It's not always about the past life or the past. Sometimes it's what's happening right here, right now, that you may not see and you may not understand. So I wanted to say that because, and the reason that I know this to be true is because, once again, I always use myself as a guinea pig. You know, the reason I know this to be true is because I have seen, and I'm not going to get into it too much, but I have seen my multiple existences in multiple realities and how they are affecting me in this reality. If you don't know it, and if you don't understand how the subconscious mind works, it's everywhere. And the subconscious mind does not reason. So if you are in another reality and you're going through a lot of trauma and a lot of heartache and a lot of depression and a lot of panic and anxiety because of the things that may be taking place in that individual reality, it can cause, if it's strong enough, it can cause a reverberation into other realities that you're having an existence in. Just like the reality that we're living in now, this reality also influences those other realities as well. And I'm beginning to be able to pick up a little bit or a lot, doesn't matter. I'm beginning to be able to pick up on what is going on in other people's alternate realities. See, we oftentimes think of something being in the past, referencing past lives. But in actuality, what if it's not a past life affecting you? What if it's a current existence that you're having in another reality that is actually affecting you? They showed you this many times in the Twilight Zone. That's what the Twilight Zone was about. Different realities and different dimensions that people had existences in. And how those existences could reverberate and cause a reverberation or reaction across all realities that you may be having an existence in. In some realities, you may be a woman. In other realities, you may be a man. In other realities, you could be a gay woman. You could be a bisexual woman. You could be a gay man. You could be a bisexual man. There are multiple outcomes you can have in these realities. You understand what I'm saying? Now, I'm only going to touch on this briefly. But recently, there was a tragedy that took place here in the YouTube community. Sansa Smith committed suicide. And examining her energy, it's not even about what was done to her here. What I look at as a spiritualist and as an occultist now is what was going on around her in other realities that would have caused this type of reverberation. Because what happened to Sansaray and what was going on with her, it didn't just start here. It started somewhere else. It reverberated into this reality. Your subconscious mind picks up on everything in totality. It picks up on everything in this reality. It picks up on everything you're not aware of. And that includes what you're not aware of in other existences that you may be having. So whatever was going on with that young lady, it did not just start here. It started somewhere else. And it reverberated into this reality. Because we don't understand how our subconscious mind is so powerful. And how we're having infinite experiences in different existences and realities. We don't understand that because we're so dumbed down and delayed about everything. And we've been taught that no, this is your only existence. If you can't see something, it doesn't exist, but that's not true. We see aspects of these realities or specks or remnants of these realities every night that we go to sleep when we dream. When we go into the astral realm is communicating with us. Our conscious mind is put to the side. And our subconscious mind is communicating with us. And the images and the experiences that we're having in the astral realm are actually a remnant of what's going on in these other realities. It may not be you may not experience everything in totality, but it's giving you bits and pieces of information of what is going on with you in these other realities. And the way that the astral world or the dream world will set it up, it will set it up. Or how it's set up is like it's in this reality, but you're actually having a totally different experience of what could be going on in another reality, if that makes sense. So when you go into the dream world and you dream about your current, living situation, similar places and, similar people, but what it could actually be doing is showing you a reflection of what's actually taking place outside of the reality that you're actually used to. We talk about multiple personality disorder, but what about multiple reality disorder? Where you're having multiple realities and trauma in multiple realities, and it's causing a reverberation into this one. So what ends up happening is you're picking up a lot of times when people are feeling anxiety and panic attacks and depression, and I'm not a doctor, I'm a spiritualist, I'm an occultist, and I can see. And this is another reason, this is why they call gay people homosexuals. This is why they call us gatekeepers. Because we sit at these gateways and we can see what's going on. The real gatekeepers, such as myself, we can see what's going on. We can see into other realities. We can shift and change, and we can manipulate other realities. That's all part of our energy. Remember, I talked about this in the lecture I did on androgyny on Panic's channel some years back. When I talked about this, I talked about one of the things that, is associated with us as gay people is us being able to shift and change our realities. Just like, we can change our appearance and morph into a more feminine aspect, by putting on wigs and lipsticks and dress and all that. That's one aspect of shape-shifting. The real aspect, the more advanced aspect of shape-shifting, and I know I'm getting off topic, but I'll go back to my point that I was going to make. The real advanced aspect of shape-shifting is shifting and changing realities. That's our power as gay black men. That's our power. So we sit at these gateways, and that is why I can see what's going on in these other realities. And that is why I'm coming to this major epiphany and realization that the things that afflict us, going back to what I was saying a minute ago, people that are suffering with depression, anxiety, and all forms of forms of gang stalking and harassment. A lot of that could be associated with something that is going on in another reality with you. And if the fabric of that reality is causing a reverberation into this one, then you can very well pull, your subconscious mind can pull, because our minds are very powerful and it can either work for you or against you. Our subconscious mind can pull those energies to us, whether they're good or bad, because remember, the subconscious mind does not go by good or bad or whatever. It only goes by what you believe. It only goes by what you think and what you believe. It doesn't go by if this is good for you or bad for you. If you think that the world is coming to an end, if you think that all of these horrible things are going to happen to you, then that is what your subconscious mind will pull from. And if you are in a reality where the world is actually coming to an end, if you are in a reality where there's so many horrible things that are happening, your subconscious mind will pull that to you in this reality. That is one of the main reasons for depression, anxiety, and panic. They say it's a chemical imbalance. But what it really boils down to is that your subconscious mind is picking up something, or picking up another existence that you're having, where you are actually experiencing those emotions in real time in another reality. You could be someone that's trapped somewhere in another reality. You could be trapped on a planet. You could be the only one there, for example, and you're trying to find your way home. That can cause depression. That can cause you to feel isolated. That can cause you to feel anxious. That can cause you to feel panicky. But your subconscious mind in another reality, you could be taking all these depression pills and anxiety pills because you're picking up on something that's going on with you in another reality. But in the reality where you're actually experiencing the symptoms and not the actual situation. You see what I'm saying? And then it doesn't help that a lot of these realities are clashing with each other now. They're clashing. Different realities are merging with each other because the matrix is breaking down. It's breaking down more and more and more. And what you're finding that there are more and more realities that are clashing with each other. I'll give you a prime example. A lady that I know told me that she had called me to give me some information. This isn't nobody on YouTube. This is somebody I know. She said she called me to give me some information. I said, no, you didn't. She said, yes, we did. Yes, I did. And we had a conversation about it. And I did not remember that. And I didn't argue with her about that because I understand what's happening. See, we've been taught that these things aren't true. And we've been taught that, you have to see something dramatic or apocalyptic or anticlimactic, if that's the right word. You have to experience something like that in order to believe that something is taking place, and that's simply not true. And since this is the real shift that we were waiting for in 2020, from what I'm hearing, this is the real shift that's taking place. This didn't come from me. I didn't know this until I heard it in that interview that Panic did with Dr. Aline Bay. I didn't know it. This is the real shift because there's a major shift taking place. So realities are going to be merging even more. That's why if your dreams are more intense, it's because you're tapping into that unseen world even more. But your subconscious mind picks up on everything because your subconscious mind is infinite. It is the infinite part of you. You can exist. Let me just break it down. You have the same subconscious mind in this reality as you do in others. Your conscious mind or your ego is the only thing that may be different in these realities. That is where a lot of multiple personality shit comes from too. When people split into different personalities, it's caused by traumatic events. So what they'll do is they'll pull energy. This is how powerful the mind is. They'll pull energy from another personality to blank out the current identity so they won't remember that trauma that they went through or experienced. You see what I'm saying? We are multiple people in multiple different realities. In some of the realities you may be good. Some of them you may be a serial killer. Some of them you may be a rich person. Some of them you may be a poor person. But the thing is that in each one of them you have the same subconscious mind. So we are affecting all of our realities that we exist in. So in this reality, I am affecting other versions of myself in other realities based upon how I think. But there's a way you can bring, how can I put this? And I'm not going to get too much into this, because if you want to know what you can do to help bring peace or bring some balance to yourself in all of those realities, you got to hit me up and you got to pay me. It ain't fucking free. As simple as that. Because a lot of the problems that I'm beginning to really understand that we have, a lot of them is because our subconscious mind is picking up on everything. We're getting a lot of energy flooded into the subconscious mind. We're experiencing multiple realities, and we just don't know how to handle that. Now, I know how to handle it now because I've begun to get a handle on my realities. That's why this COVID hoax bullshit is not affecting me the way it's affecting other people. Because what I understand about that, and I'm not even going to get too much into that because that takes a whole nother route to get into that. But what I do understand is that this shit is a hoax in this reality, but it's real somewhere else. Let me just say that much. Because that's what happens. And it's a lot more I can say about that, because it ties into what people may call time travel. And, time travel is nothing more than going into parallel realities and parallel universes. And they showed you that in that show, The Man in the High Castle, that came on Amazon. If you have not seen that show, The Man in the High Castle, it's gone off the air now for good. But that was a very, very good show. It showed you how multiple realities can reverberate across all realities and affect you, because we still have the same subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind is going to pick up on everything, whether it be good, bad, or indifferent. But anyway, that's all I really wanted to come through and say. And that's it.